The story of Judaism. One day, God spoke to a man named Abraham, telling him to leave his home in Mesopotamia and take his family on a long journey west to a land called Canaan. So in the year 2000 BC, Abraham, following God's wishes, left his home. God promised to lead Abraham to Canaan, and that in time it would turn into a mighty nation. Abraham's descendants, the Hebrews, lived in Canaan for many years. However, struggling to find food and water because of a long drought, many Hebrews left Canaan and traveled to Egypt. As the Hebrew population grew in Egypt, Egypt's ruler, the Pharaoh, feared that the Hebrews could become too powerful. To stop this from happening, the Pharaoh made the Hebrews slaves. After many years of slavery, God tells Moses to lead the Hebrews out of Egypt. The Pharaoh refused to free the slaves, which angered God, and a series of plagues spread fear throughout Egypt. The plagues were water into blood, frogs, lice, flies, diseased livestock, boils that would not heal, hail and thunder, locusts, darkness, and death of the firstborn. Finally, after the 10th plague, the Pharaoh agreed to free the Hebrews. Moses led his people out of Egypt in a journey called the Exodus. The Hebrews wandered through the deserts of the Middle East for years. On their journey, they reached a mountain called Sinai. While Moses was on the mountain, God visited him and gave him 2 stone tablets. On the tablets was written a code of moral laws known as the 10 Commandments. These laws will end up shaping Hebrew society.
Moses went to the mountain, and God spoke unto him.
Moses, this is the Lord thy God, commanding you to obey my law. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. A deaf man could hear you.
What?
Nothing, Gunish, forget it. Oh, Lord, why have you chosen me? What would you have me do for you?
I shall give you my laws, and you shall take them unto the people.
Yes, Lord! Lord, I shall give these laws unto thy people. Hear me! Oh, hear me! All pay heed! The Lord Jehovah, has given unto you these 10 commandments for all to obey.
Upon reaching Canaan, the Hebrews fought to regain control of their land. After defeating the Canaanites, the Hebrews, once again, settled in Canaan and became known as the Israelites. Israel became a powerful and wealthy kingdom and built a great temple to God in Jerusalem. After the death of a king, however, conflict arose over who would become the next king of Israel. The Israelites could not agree, and Israel split into 2 kingdoms, one called Israel and one called Judah. The people of Judah became known as the Jews. Over time, the 2 kingdoms would fall to invaders. Solomon's temple would be destroyed, and the Jews would be forced from their land. The scattering of Jews outside of Israel and Judah is called the diaspora. Some Jews returned to Jerusalem and even rebuilt Solomon's temple, only to be conquered and enslaved by the Romans. Their temple was destroyed once again. Centuries later, life for Jewish populations is much the same. Typically regarded throughout history as an unwanted population, Jewish acceptance remains a difficult task for many nations around the world. Israel and the city of Jerusalem are far from being places of peace, as conflict over the region continues to divide the world. But through it all, the Jewish population has remained a resilient, determined, and successful people.